Kind of see there, you can kind of see it's wet in that corner there. I don't know if it's from, you know, it's splashing out right here and fucking getting in, going around this edge right here and then getting me wet. But you can see right there, right here, it's leaking right there, or it's wet on the back right here. So I don't know what that means. I don't know. But I know my other one doesn't do that. So here, I got to get it off camera for a second. But I know my other one, this one doesn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. This is my test model. This is my test model. So, but yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, what's up? This is T Squeegee, old school style. Gonna narrate over top of this pizness. As you can see, this is the Gunslinger 1.1 and a year in review of me using the Gunslinger. This is part one of 2 videos. The second will most likely be a lot shorter. Wait, notice something there? Yeah, I don't like that. I'm glad that you took it off there, though. Maybe, hopefully, just on mine, because you know I don't agree with the way you're doing things. So. But as you can see, there's a bunch of reinforcement put on here. Some of the other users' issues have been addressed. Mine have not, clearly, as you can see in the beginning of this. And they sewed the strap on the outside of the tip jar, which, you know, it's not right. But, you know, it's clear that they want you to buy one of these every single year. That's what they want you to do. They're being made out of cheap materials. It's leaking and it's seeping through onto the back panel in the same spot as all the other ones I've ever gotten. Right on the edge, they start seeping on the edge and they work their way in, which is cool now because they got that vinyl on there, so the Gunslinger won't be wet. Your pants will get wet though. And that I only used this. I was here like 30 minutes, so this is 30 minutes in on this, and it's, you know, well, I take that back. It's about an hour. I used inside and out. It took me about an hour because it's so cold outside today. But it's that's just an hour's worth of work, and it's already seeped around. You know, it's seeped into the back. Once that starts working its way into those bubbles on the back of it, the water's going to get in there. It's going to mess with the glue, and it's going to separate. The vinyl's going to separate from the substructure. You know, you could see it. So, but it's clear they want you to buy one of these once a year. If you go back and listen to some of the stuff Perry said, and I've made that stuff, you know, kind of clear. I pulled some of these clips out so people can digest them easier. They want you to buy them like tennis shoes, you know, and that's not what I tested. Buckets on a belt last forever. I still have my first one. You know what I mean? The strap has been screwed on with rivet, a nut and bolt, but it still works. And what I tested seems to be, well, it's on its second season. It seems to be going the same way. You know what I mean? So for these to be, I mean, Mark Tanner's got 4. He's 4. 3 of them are beyond repair, and he's not working on his American flag one now, and everyone knows he doesn't want to do that. But that's what he's got to do to keep it from his pants getting wet. You know what I mean? They didn't last long at all. I wouldn't know because I haven't got one that doesn't get my pant leg wet, and I refuse to use it if I've got one that keeps me dry. So, but you know, let's look at all of this objectively, and instead of people thinking that I'm a dick, let's just take a trip back to before my integrity was in question, and I was wet behind the ears with the Gunslinger, and very optimistic, very optimistic. So let's take a trip back. Yeah, this is Outlaw T Squeegee here, doing a little bit of Gunslinger review. I'm probably gonna do a few videos on this topic, the Gunslinger. This is my first several. I mean, this is actually my second job with it on this day, but this is my first day using it. This is my chubby ass in McDonald's cleaning some windows. Me and my 18-inch Sorbo channel I got from Larry, and on my hip is the Gunslinger. You see me fumbling. I'm so used to that Pull-X bucket being on my hip that I'm gonna fumble here and there during this. But I will say this: as the day went on, I hate fingerprints. As the day went on, man, it started to become natural. You know what I mean? It just like everything, tools were sliding in and out real easy. I got an initial impression after this job. I'd give you a little 411 on what was going on, but you know, if I am or not, I hope I'm in frame. If I'm not, it is what it is. Which is my saying, I guess. It is what it is. Make sure I don't run into nobody here, but I just got done using my Gunslinger for the first time, and I'm fucking stoked. So yeah, just got done using my Gunslinger for the first time. I've been using an IPC Pull-X bucket for with the detachable clip, which is this is a major coup for Richie Blue and his Gunslinger. Is he's getting me to take off my my cliplet, my coupled up bucket. These fucking Michigan drivers, man. Fucking guys can't drive for shit. Yeah, I said that. I mean, half my family's from Michigan, so don't take any offense to that. But anyway, dudes can't drive. Anyways, where was I? Oh, anyways, it's it's a big deal for Richie to get me to stop using that, because I'm a chubby guy, so I gotta wear a belt anyways, and I normally wear if I don't have a clipless, if I don't have a belt on, I wear over suspenders to keep the weight off my hips. But I've been using I'm just gonna start using my tool belt in the wintertime, because normally, like I said, I use the detachable bucket because this my pant leg is dry. I fumbled a little bit here and there trying to get stuff in spot. I mean, but you get muscle memory. I've been using the same bucket for the last 10, 11 years, so shit's not good where I normally have it. But I like the fact that the washer, you can put the washers in the pocket away from your body. That's really cool. When you put the, I'm a soapy mop guy, so when you put the mop in the Gunslinger, that's what I call it, T-bar, wetter, as Josh calls it. Joshua Show calls it a wetter. I call it a washer. But the washer, is usually real close to you. The pockets, you can put it wherever you want, but I like the pocket furthest out. You got options, and that's what's cool about this. My area, some storm windows. We're just doing the outside. They every other year, inside and out, break everything down, do all four sides, and we're just so happens we got an exterior only this year. So I wanted to get some work, some residential work in on video for the Gunslinger. It's not a whole bunch, it's just a little bit. I'm enjoying this Gunslinger. I'm super humbled and grateful that I was selected to test this thing out. I know some other guys, there's not very many of these out in the field right now, and I was lucky enough to get one, so that's not lost on me at all. So I'm going to try to give as much video and footage of this as I possibly can for guys, for Richie, for Reach It, and for all you guys out there that are interested in the Gunslinger. That way you can kind of see, like I said, see the way it moves and works in the field. That way there's no, it's, you know, it's not word of mouth, it's not me saying it, it's you seeing it, you know, so. Yeah, so there was some gunslinging going on in that video right there, boy, real fast. I've done a lot of gunslinger videos, you know, showed you guys just about everything I could show you, but I guess except for bringing it in here. Oh yeah, it's my gunslinger. You can see, this is my my gunslinger. I've had it about 4 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that, almost a month now. There's some Cory dust on it, but I've never washed it off, so you know it's not it hasn't been washed or anything like that. It's just been out of the box, and I've been using it. But I just wanted to give you kind of like a up close and personal type of deal on it, you know. Show you that there's rigidity here. It's not all flimsy and, you know, like some of those soft pouches that you see sold on, you know, some of these window cleaning suppliers. But, you know, there's some rigidity to it. You know, it's not all give. You know what I mean? So, I usually store my small channel, as you can see, in this pocket right here. Just for, I don't know, just easier for me. If you have a large channel, you know what I mean, I would probably, if I was using something bigger than, you know, like around 24 to 30 inches, I'd probably put it here. You could put them here. I mean, because you could see right there, this kind of, right here, it's kind of got like a V in it, you know what I mean? And it kind of lets the channel sit at an angle, so it's not sitting up and down, you know, straight up and down. It kind of rides in the boab, kind of like at an angle, away from your body, which is fucking cool. So you can use big channels up there or in here, you know what I mean? I usually keep my my go-to channel, my main channel, I stage right here, and then I stage my washer in this pouch, and of course this is the tip jar, or as I like to refer to it as the Pac-Man, chunk, 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 chunk. But you know, whatever. This is cool, man. I mean, I like this because, you know, like on the inside of a house, if I'm working and I don't want to go back downstairs, and you know, this reserves water. It's like a reservoir, and it kind of reserves water. So you've got probably, you know, maybe that much. I usually have around that much water in the bottom of it. Sometimes maybe that much, and I just tip it open a little bit and dump my washer in here, and then flip it around, dip it in there, and I'm wet again, so I don't have to run back down to the bucket and you know, get my washer wet again. You know, sometimes you're like, man, I've only got one room to go. I don't want to go back downstairs. You know what I mean? You don't have to do that with this. Or back up. I don't want to go back outside. I just want to get this done. You've got that option with this multiple tools. You know what I mean? As I've shown you in my other videos. But I just kind of wanted to give you guys like a, see, you know, kind of like a feel. You know what I mean? Like you guys can't feel it, but I can feel it for you. But you can see like it kind of curves with the body, with your leg. It's soft, but it's rigid where it needs to be, and that's what's cool about this. It's soft, but it's also super rigid where it needs to be. You know, like I said, I mean, you can hear it up there at where the, you know, the top pouch is. I mean, it's still stiff in areas that it needs to be stiff in. So that's what I think is cool about this, is it's this isn't from the manufacturer. This isn't from Reach It. This is actually from Richie. Richie made this one for me to test, and this is the final version. But as a caveat here, if you don't, using this Gunslinger for as long as I can, and at the end of the video, you'll see there is a wet spot on my leg, and where that bend is, that crease right there, where the tip jar tips out, and you can dump your water out. Sometimes I do not keep that in mind when I go to re-wet, and there's excess water, you get too much water in there, it will, the water will come out over the top there, and you'll see in the end there's a little wet spot on me. But that's from that crease right there, that water coming out, boiling out over the top right there. Just, I have so much, it holds so much water, you forget that you got water in there. You know what I mean? So when you go to rinse your washer out and freshen up, you get a little bit too much water in there, like I did today. This day we were in a rush, but for the most part, I mean, anyone that's used a bucket on a belt, as you'll see at the end of this, my leg is fucking legit dry. It's except for that little tiny spot on my pocket there, on my cargo pocket. Yeah, man. I got two brass squeegees, my 12 and my 16. I got my 18-inch washer, my 12-inch washer. I've got my Unger 0 degree 12-inch there in my side on the outer loop. And I think I might even be carrying my scraper in there. I can't remember if I kept it in there or not. Yeah, I do. There it is. No storm station, though. I'm not that cool. But that's too much bullshit. Just clean the water, clean the window, and move on. But as you can see, the washer goes in and out with two washers in there, no problems. You see how the water is coming out over the top where I squeezed in? It's being caught by that tip jar right there. Pimp shit. I'm tired of hearing these reviews about the Samurai, how the Gunslinger does this and the Gunslinger does that. Well, one thing it doesn't do, your pant leg's not fucking soaking wet. The second thing it does is that the water also doesn't hit your pant leg, but it doesn't go on the fucking ground either, guys. It doesn't go on the ground either. It stays in the Boab. But again, like I said, you have to make sure when you freshen up your washers to tip that jar out, because it will retain all the water and you will get water out when you're walking. That's what that is. When you're walking, it'll kind of slosh around and come out. And it comes out that crease there, and it got on my pocket. Whatever. But full transparency here. I'm not making fucking shit up like a lot of these guys do on these YouTube videos. Full transparency. I don't know. It is what it is. But, here's me again. More of my ass. I didn't really do it. I just wanted to focus on the Gunslinger. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do, so you guys could see the tools go in and out of it. See that it's loaded down with the equipment, not just loaded down with equipment and a still photo taken and thrown up on Facebook and like, look what all it can hold. It actually functions with all these tools in it. Not none of this preconceived or set up photos where it makes you think that it'll hold all that, but it actually doesn't. This actually holds two washers at once. And in this occasion, this works really good. It makes things go a lot faster. I have two different size washers on me, so I can do my cut-ups and my screen doors and my large windows, my double hungs. I can use my 18 on the larger windows and my 12s on the cut-ups. See, boom. Slides right out. Do my whizzy washing. Make sure this is spider, just covered in spider spray. Just covered in spider spray. But, boom, right back in. Easy peasy. Beautiful cover girl. You like it. Yeah. Just the same thing. So it's two-sided. There's one of these. There's like, I think there's 42 units. And, we got this done in like 2.5 hours. There's the Gunslingers on my hip there, I probably should have left the volume so you could hear that it makes it literally no noise. I'm like a ninja out here. You know what I mean? So, we're back from the past. Back when I was a cool dude and everyone liked me. All the Reach It guys loved me back then. um, Just me using the Gunslinger that Perry sent me, the 1.1. That it still has a seepage issue. There's still water getting in there. It's still leaking in the binding area where they marry the tip jar together, which has been an issue from the very beginning. And it's unfortunate. Maybe one day they'll get it together. I prefer that they would just, cut Richie loose, let Richie do his thing, and if they want to make substandard products, then go ahead and make them just like this one. Take his name off of it and cut him loose and let the man fucking do his thing. That's what I would like to see happen. Um, it's just unfortunate that, I liked the fact that he added rubber reinforcements around. Well, he did it all over mine, as you guys could see, except for in a few areas. But the bottom, it's like what the rubber piece isn't like a piece. They were like, hey, let's design this to put this on here. Now that's just some rubber they found, like some rubber pieces they fucking sourced from somewhere that weren't quite long enough to go around the whole bottom, so they just stick two together with a seam at the bottom, at the very bottom of it, and where it's going to catch and rub off. I mean, you'll see. I mean, you see it in the beginning. Just look at it. Go back to the beginning and look. It's obvious. It's two pieces sewn together in the seam at the very bottom of the tip jar. So it wasn't even an intended piece for this unit. They just slapped it on there to cover up shoddy materials. The materials are not good still. You could tell that they've stepped their game up, but the materials are still shit. They're still being not. There's still areas that, and the problem is there's problem areas that they still have yet to correct, even though at least 50 people have, there's at least 50 people have had these issues. The back of the unit gets wet. That's why they're vinyl now. But the problem is there's still water getting through there. It's still coming around that edge. It's still happening. And it doesn't happen on the test models. And it didn't happen on the tip jar. It didn't happen on the Gunslinger prototypes. So, I don't know, man. I would really like to see them get that sorted. Yeah, I really hope they get that sorted. But really, all in all, I'd like to see my mans get cut free. Free Richie Blue. All I gotta say is, I'm going to continue I'm going to use this. You guys are going to get another video out of this. It's going to be probably shorter. I always say that, but it's probably not going to be. Of me using this some more. I used this about an hour and a half, and, I had a spot on my pants from where it's seeping on the edge, like all of them do. It just, the problems that I've had, it's the same issue. You know what I mean? I like the fact that he sent me one to try to fix it. It's clearly not as bad as the other ones were, but there's still problems with it. And for $100, for what we tested, for $100, these things should last at least 5 years. I'm just going by how much I usually between 8 and 10,000 pieces of glass I touch a year. That, you know what I mean? A month. So my test unit has been used quite a bit, and Richie attested to that during one of the live podcasts. He said I beat the shit out of it, and I'm still using it. He washed it up for me, inspected it, sent it back. I had an idea, and he implemented it for me. And like I said, it's still in service, and I'm going to continue to use it. I'm going to give this a shot, because Perry went out of his way to send it to me. Like, jumped through a bunch who slapped it full of glue and Scotch Guard and, tried to make it bulletproof. And it's not. There's still a couple of holes in your bulletproof wall there, buddy, unfortunately. And, again, it's just Band-Aids on bad materials. That's just it in a nutshell. It is. I'd hate to say that, but that, and they're just not being put together well. There's still the quality control issues are. They want you to buy one every single year. That's what they want. They want the materials to last around 10, 11 months, and then, they'll come out with this, and then they want you to buy another one. That's his deal. He wants this to be disposable. He wants it to be like a pair of tennis shoes. Once you've done wearing them, you throw them in the garbage and buy another pair. That's what he wants you to do with this. And buckets on a belt traditionally are not replaced like that. They last 2-3 years, and you get another one. Some longer. I still have my first. It's just been bolted together. My strap's bolted on it. But it's just, the Gunslinger that I tested could do that. It could last 5 years, just based on the way it's wearing right now. With 8 to 10,000 panes of glass a month, it's really holding up, man. It's badass, dude. It's still badass. The design is badass. It's just not being manufactured well. As you can see, it still needs a sponge in the bottom to baffle the water to keep from sloshing, with an 18-inch washer in there, I might add. So, it is what it is, man. You're going to get another video out of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If it was too long, I apologize, but that's how I do things. Keep a lookout for tomorrow's podcast, and I guess Luke's going to do a review on the Gunslinger. Check it out.